As the president of the California District Attorneys Association, as the San Diego District Attorney, and as a former judge. Today, we are asking the California Supreme Court to remove Proposition 5 from the November ballot by issuing a peremptory writ of mandate. This is so critical that former Governor Pete Wilson and former Governor Ray Davis, as well as 32 elected district attorneys from across the state, have joined to petition the Supreme Court. Proposition 5 shortens parole for drug dealers caught with up to $50,000 worth of methamphetamine. This is just bad public safety policy. We're asking the Supreme Court to remove Proposition 5 because we believe the principal provisions are unconstitutional. They attempt to infringe on and usurp the constitutional power of the government, the executive branch, and the judges, the judicial branch. If adopted at the general election in November, Proposition 5 would cause serious and immediate harm to the public safety of our community, harm that could not be repaired. The law is clear. The state constitution can only be amended by a constitutional amendment. It cannot be revised or amended by a state statutory initiative. Provisions of Proposition 5 violate these constitutional privileges and could take effect almost immediately. Therefore, it is urgent that the constitutional issues be addressed now to avoid the serious, immediate consequences to public safety that would cause irreparable harm. I want to give a special thanks to District Attorney of Sacramento, Jan Scully, who couldn't be with us today, who has been a leading effort in this no on Proposition 5, and her Chief Deputy, Cindy Besmer, for her leadership in this important effort as well. Not only are we raising serious constitutional issues about Proposition 5 in the Supreme Court, we are preparing to mount an aggressive campaign communicating to voters up and down the state. We support responsible rehabilitation with real accountability. Proposition 5 is deceptive, and the voters need to know it.
Now I'd like to introduce Sacramento County Sheriff John McGinnis. John?
Hey, Chief. Thank you folks for being here. This is a very important topic. And as President of the California State Peace Officers Association and Sheriff of Sacramento County, I am here to lend my strong opposition to the deception of Proposition 5. I'd also like to announce that the California State Sheriff's Association, an organization of which I am a member, is also among those engaged in the process as opponents of Proposition 5. Not only is Proposition 5 a very real threat to public safety in California, it also threatens to place an enormous strain on local resources. As a county sheriff, I consistently face budget restrictions and the threat of cutbacks every year as far more funds are taken from the state and by the state for the budget deficit, or to cover shortfalls created by a lack of state funding. I am especially concerned that Proposition 5 sets up two new bureaucracies with no accountability at a cost of hundreds of millions of dollars. Proposition 5 falsely claims that it will save money, but in fact it is nothing more than a shell game that shifts costs from the state to the counties which in many cases may be forced to raise taxes. More than 20 county jail facilities throughout California are already above capacity. Proposition 5 will only make this situation go from very bad to worse.